Hello and welcome. We're here at Murrayfield in the middle of the Scottish Claymores fans' power party as they prepare for their clash today with the RHEIN Fire. Mike, you know, it seems that the fans here get a little bit more of a beat in their step when the London Monarchs are defeated.
You bet. There's nothing they like here more than a Monarchs loss except a Claymores win. And a Claymores win today against RHEIN Fire, which is going to be a tough game, means that the winner of that match will move in at 2-1 into a three-way tie on top of the World League. And the loser, they go into a three-way tie at 1-2 down in the bottom. And the World Bowl berth, it's wide open.
Okay, it's game time now. Let's join our match commentary team of Bill Moss and Mark Champion.
The Ricky Mose is back deep, and we are underway. The kick, a wobbly looking thing, and will go out of bounds. Flag flies. So the RHEIN Fire will get good field position to begin play. Weather conditions here, a little overcast, but we have seen the sun peek out occasionally. So we know it's there, Bill.
Well, you know it's there, but you can't expect it too often when you're up in Scotland.
Temperature about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's comfortable. Well, T.J. Rubley has been the story last week in the second half. He got the offense cranked. Former Ram and now Denver Bronco property. A single back set and already a penalty. For the first snap of the game, T.J. Rubley.
Well, Jason Simmons, the left defensive end, jumped off sides there, but it's whether or not he was drawn off. And he wasn't. It's going to go against Scotland.
The call coming up here, so that'll move it up to the 45-yard line.
92, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Bill Levy, our referee today. We had a chance to talk to the crew. Some have been here before, others their first trip over. Juan Carter is the single setback for T.J. Rubley out of Tulsa from the 45, and the handoff goes inside. That offensive line doing a nice job across the midfield stripe, and a first down to the 49. Let's take a look at the rest of the RHEIN Fire offense. Bill Schrader, the property of the Packers. Grit line, Kansas City. And the national player, Martin Drever. So a first down for RHEIN Fire, just underway. Rubley back to throw and completes the pass down to around the 40-yard line. Bill Schrader on the end of it. Emmett Waldron, one of the national players for the Scottish Claymores. Let's take a look at that big offensive line for RHEIN Fire. This is going to be the big story. They are really banged up.
Yeah, they are banged up. Cronenberg's back at center. He was hurt 2 weeks ago with a bad knee. And then Olaf Hampel came in. Now Hampel's hurt. He's out, so they're really juggling around. But to make the whole short of it is they're playing this game with only 6 offensive linemen available.
Rolling right, Rubley on the play fake and completes it to the big tight end off a delay. And he will take it down for big yardage down the right side for RHEIN Fire. Let's take a quick look at the Claymores defensive line. An active bunch. Keith Poe and Brad Keeney, Larry Williams and Jason Simmons. You will see some changes there as we go. Falcons, Keeney belongs to, and the Rams, Jason Simmons.
Simmons has 3 sacks already this year. He's their rush guy.
So RHEIN Fire moving. 24-yard line, Rubley. Around the left side on the keeper inside the 20-yard line down to about the 18-yard line before he gets driven out of bounds by Charles Swan. Take a look at the linebackers now for the Claymores. Jamie Fields, Eric Umberzat is in the middle, and James Logan. A couple of Seahawks. The national player is Emmett Waldron. Pretty good middle linebacker. Second down for RHEIN Fire, opening series. Schrader, the motion man. Rubley rolls right and fires, and Schrader on the end of that one, but was banged hard by Kevin Scott, the former Detroit Lion, who had a reconstructed knee, and it's amazing he's out there. Let's Take a look at the Claymores secondary. We mentioned Mr. Scott. Scotty on the outside at the corner with Charles Swan. And boy, talk about a fan favorite, George Coghill is, isn't he?
Yeah, well, the safeties are the strength of this unit. Both of them are captains on the defense, and they'll hit you. Doug Terry and George Coghill like to hit you.
Third down at about 3. Big play here for the Claymores defense. Rubley on the short drop left and fires. And he's got the first down to the 10, and Schrader hurdles into the end zone. Wow. Out of Wisconsin lacrosse, Schrader takes it in. Touchdown of the opening drive for RHEIN. Boy, T.J. Rubley, talk about a guy who has ignited an offense.
74.
Well, I like the way they moved the ball down the field. I mean, you saw some bootleg in there. You saw the run game. I mean, that was good play selection by the RHEIN.
Well, that quiets the crowd here with 12:25 to go. And the extra point coming up. Bergsmueller and bangs it through. So RHEIN with the touchdown on the opening series and lead it 7-0. Schrader on the 15-yard touchdown catch.
Well, to the right side on the screen here, you have two receivers over there. And the first receiver is Drew Line. He clears everything out. And he sucks. That's going deep. That's taking the defensive backs with you. Then underneath was Schrader. When Schrader caught the pass, and one thing Schrader's good at is yards after catch. When he gets the ball, he can find the end zone. I saw him last week down in Dusseldorf. Did almost the same identical thing. He caught the ball at about the 8, and he finds the way to get the ball in the end zone. And you can see the excitement by T.J. Rubley. And he should be excited because he excites this whole offense for the RHEIN. He is the heart of that offense.
Well, the deep men, Eric Smith and Yo Murphy for the Claymores, finding themselves down 7-0. 12:25 left here in the opening quarter at Murrayfield. Side of the World Bowl, will it be again? And the kickoff high and short. Smith, the speedster, down across the 30. And a good solid return out across the 37, 38-yard line. That game made the stop for RHEIN. Yo Murphy and Scott Cooper in the game, and one of the wide receivers, and Surian Stacy. We knew they were going to run the ball inside at 210, 215 pounds. Straight ahead to the 44-yard line. Matt Gay on the stop. Spence Fisher getting the start. Jim Kreiner said, I want him to be the guy. He shows leadership. And the players seem to feel that leadership quality.
Well, you know, one thing is he can get rid of the ball faster. That was some of the problems they thought with Barr. And for Spence, you know, he's happy now that he's the quarterback, so he doesn't have to punt anymore. He was punting the first 2 weeks.
9 times last week for about a 26-yard average. Out of the eye. Play fake, swings it out to Stacy. Breaks the tackle, stays on his feet. First down at the 47-yard line. Good extra effort by Surian Stacy, who played for Gene Stallings at Alabama. Said that it took him a while to overcome not being in the NFL initially.
Watch Stacy. See, watch. He gets to the outside, and he's a big threat when he gets to the corner. And he's a good back. And the distinction of a good back is someone that can make the first tackler miss. And Surian Stacy always makes the first tackler miss.
Said he rattled off about 7 or 8 names of his Alabama teammates in the NFL. Said it took him 3 years to kind of get over that. Scott Cooper, one of the wide receivers. Back to throw. Fisher to Murphy out across and inside to about the 41-yard line. And that should be enough first down. Aubrey Beavers on the stop for RHEIN. Look at receiving core. And the special players with Yo Murphy, Alan DeGraff and Reed, Ricky Brady, the big tight end, Hilo, and Surian Stacy. The national player Scott Cooper actually started in this game. 7-0 RHEIN scoring on their opening drive. Out of the eye, another first down play fake. Fisher still going long as he's hit as he throws. And the pass is overthrown. He wanted to go on the long post to Murphy. And the pass goes incomplete. Let's take a look at the protection Mr. Fisher will hopefully get. Randy Bierman, Marco Rivera, Jeff Smith in the middle, belongs to Kansas City, and we'll tell you about it. A lot of Kansas City players on this team. Purvis Hunt at right guard and Ron Florian the right tackle.
Mark, that's really the strength of their offense, too, is the guys up front. Jim Kreiner offense is going to have a running game, and it's going to have big guys up front that can maul you. And then everything comes off of that.
Backs are now split behind Fisher. 2nd down and 10 from the 41. And we're going to get a flag down. There's the RHEIN fire, fired across the line. A little early. But were they drawn?
I think Jeff Smith, the center, snapped the ball early.
And we will huddle and talk it over. 9:29 to go here in the opening quarter. RHEIN firing 7-0. Bill Schrader scoring the touchdown on the pass from T.J. Rubley from 15 yards out. He hurdled over about, 5 yards.
False start on the offense.
Call.
Right tackle. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Joe Murphy lined up to the bottom of your screen. Back goes Fisher. Good protection. Long over the middle. Ball tipped away. Intended for DeGraff and Reed. Aubrey Beavers, the linebacker, getting back there to knock it away. Let's take a look at the RHEIN Fire defensive line. Israel Stanley, the #1 pick this season. Tyrone Williams with James Wilson and Dunston Anderson to make some big plays. Peter Grosspass, the national player.
All 4 of these guys are good pass rushers. They have 7 sacks, the RHEIN Fire does, and they all belong to the defensive linemen.
And we talked to Dunston. He said you have to be careful. You got to stay in your lanes with Surian Stacy to worry about. Swing pass out to Stacy on the right side. Good spin move inside for extra yardage. Down to about the 42, almost the original line of scrimmage. But nearly enough. So a punting situation coming up for the Claymores. They're trailing 7-0 with 8:50 to go here in the old border. High wobbly kick. This one's going to hit it about the 6. Takes a hop into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 20. Leland Hall runs a single set out across the 25-yard line. Ricky Powers, the ex-Michigan Wolverine, but we've got a flag down. Powers was in the Detroit Lions camp. He's down on one knee already.
That flag came in late.
And we will check this penalty out. Ricky Powers still down on a knee, so he was shaken up. The discussion continues as to what this penalty is going to be.
Usually when it's late around the pile, it's
on the offense, number 84. Half the distance to the goal, still 1st down.
Derek Clark now in the game for RHEIN Fire as they are faced with a 1st and about 18. T.J. Rubley.
Here comes the blitz.
Pass goes out and complete across the 16-yard line. Bill Schrader on the end of that one. Charles Swan bumps him out. Schrader's been the go-to guy so far in this football game.
Watch the blitz. 28, Doug Terry comes up to the line of scrimmage, and he comes on the blitz. A nice pickup by Derrick Clark, the back. That buys Rubley time. When you see the blitz, everybody has an assignment. That was a nice job by Derrick Clark.
Rubley on the draw, but nowhere to go. Get back at the 17-yard line. Coghill and Terry, the 2 safety men, again coming up to play.
Watch the job the front 4 do for the Scottish Claymores. Now, the offensive line tries to sell the pass. But what Keeney does, number 92, is he sits down. He sits down on Sheldon, 77, and he just clogs the whole thing up. Nice job, Brad Keeney.
Out of the shotgun now is T.J. Rubley on a 3rd and long. Rubley fires over the middle and off the hands at the 35. We do have a flag down intended for Michael Drittline. But another piece of laundry, and we've had quite a bit of that so far in this game. 6:55 remaining here in the opening quarter. Rhein Fire up 7-0. Let's see what this one is.
Offside on the defense, number 93, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
That's the penalty that I always say about a $500 fine for that penalty.
Well, offsides. Well, I was a defensive lineman, so I'm going to have to disagree with you. There's Troy Bailey right there. He's going to get in the neutral zone. He must have lined up in the neutral zone is what it was. He didn't jump. It was actually his helmet was over there, and you're right. That should be a $500 fine when you line up.
Yeah, all you got to do is look down the line. Ricky Powers back in there now on 3rd down at about 8. Flushed as Rubley breaks a tackle across the 30. Rubley, he can do this, and picks up the 1st down for Rhein Fire out across the 37-yard line. T.J. Rubley can scramble. That's what he brings to the game.
That's exactly what he brings to the game, and this is why they don't have any sacks, because T.J. Rubley can scramble out of the pocket. He's a cool customer in there. He knows what he's doing, and he knows what's around him. Watch him rush from 2 different angles. And he sees it, then he finds daylight and picks up the extra yards. I mean, when you have that to contend with, along with stopping the run and covering your receivers, that 3rd dimension makes it things really tough for a defense.
7-0, and they keep it going. And not going very far, maybe a half yard or so. Here comes Versat. Makes the tackle on Ricky Powers. Juan Carter, as we mentioned, is their back with speed. Powers and Clark giving that toughness inside. David Rhodes goes out of the game for Rhein Fire. 2nd down, let's call it 9. It's 7-0, Rhein Fire leading on the Rubley touchdown pass of 15 yards to Schrader. Schrader, the motion man. Rubley fires over the, and the pass is caught out across the 48-yard line, and that should be enough. Schrader again on the end of that one. 1st down, Rhein Fire.
I like Schrader.
Yeah, he's going to have a bunch of receptions.
I really like. I saw him play 2 weeks ago, and this guy, I mean, he's fast, he's determined, and his size, he reminds me. Here he is in motion, and watch him come across the middle underneath the zone defense. Found the pocket. He reminds me a lot of La Chapelle, who played for Scotland last year.
Yeah, you're right. Powers tries to sweep, cuts up inside the block, and gets across midfield down to about the 48.
And one thing that the Rhein Fire is doing is they're keeping Scotland off balance defensively. You can't hone in as a defense of what to stop. You can't get complacent and say I have to sit there and play the run, and then you can't get blowing up field saying I'm going to rush the passer. And then they got the run in there and the draw and nice play selection. Who's ever calling the plays over there? I don't know whether it's Wes Chandler or Hall, but it's great play selection for the Rhein Fire.
Drittline and Foster, the wide receivers. Now Derrick Clark in the backfield. Rubley to the air. Long sideline pattern, and that one goes incomplete down around the 20-yard line. Intended for Drittline. Kevin Scott of the good coverage. Schrader, the motion man, on 3rd down. 7-0 Rhein Fire. Rubley sideline pass, and that one is underthrown for Schrader at about the 43-yard line. More yellow laundry, though. Rubley, and off the left side inside the 40, Derrick Clark, but he's not going to go very far. Stopped at about the 39-yard line, gain of about 3. Doug Terry, the free safety, coming up. Very active safeties. These 2 safeties for the Claymores, Todd Hill and Terry.
Man, they like to get around the ball so much that sometimes you get scared. As a defense coordinator, you think, wow, I'm worried because they want to come up and hit somebody like I talked about before. And when they get sucked up too much by coming up there to support the run, you have to watch them get beat over the top.
2nd down and 7. Rubley on the play fake. Going long over the middle. Got a man wide open. Touchdown. Michael Drittline on the post pattern. Got behind the secondary, and Rhein Fire has scored again.
Mark, no sooner did I say that, and the safeties bid on the play action. They came running up, and they bid on the play action, and it was right over the top.
74 is reported as an eligible receiver, number 74.
13-0, and the extra point coming up. Well, this crowd at Murrayfield a bit stunned, and I'm sure Jim Kreiner is. Extra point coming up. Bergschmuller, and it is blocked. Now they can pick this up and go with it. And it's still rumbling around and finally down. So the extra point is no good.
Coghill comes flying up to support the run and then realizes he's beat and has to get back into coverage, and it's Drittline on the post for 6.
So it's 13-0. Last week, 3 touchdown passes. Hadley Larson with a kickoff, and Smith at about the 5. On the return, out across the 20, stays on his feet, and then is drilled and knocked down just about the 20-yard line. Artis Houston on the stop.
Now this is the guys up front. Watch, they all think it's run too. See Simmons, he's there, he's chasing Derrick Clark. He doesn't even know. Then he looks downfield, and he says, "Oh no." And Rubley says, "Oh yes."
Well, to equal he did last week, Bill, he had Drittline and Schrader for touchdowns. He's got to hit Rhodes for 1, and he's equaled what he did last week. 13-0. So Mr. Fisher's got his work cut out for him. Suran Stacy in the backfield. Made his first start of the season. Fisher back to throw. Sideline pattern to the 25-yard line. Reed on the catch. Alan Reed out of Ohio State. He's kind of bounced around. Cincinnati, Kansas City, was in CFL, Packers, so he has got a lot of stickers on his bag.
Big, fast receiver. They haven't been able to get him the ball in the first 2 weeks of the season.
What is a 2nd down and 5. 2:20 to go. Still in the opening quarter. We've had a lot of penalty flags down, and by golly, we just had another one. Spence Fisher got drilled. Got Dunstan Anderson.
That was Tyrone Williams.
Tyrone Williams got him. First down at the 30. Stacy keeps the legs motoring out across the 34-yard line. Suran Stacy, the time leader in the World League, and he's had solid seasons the last 2 years. Well, you can see what he has done against Line Fire. Been pretty successful.
You know, and right now they need to keep giving Stacy the ball. It's important for Scotland not to get out of their game plan. They came in here, they want to establish the run and then get the play action going off of that. Just because they're down 13-0, they have to stay with it.
Murphy into Graffenreid, the wide receiver. Stacy, you called it. They keep running. Cut back across the 40. Suran Stacy all the way up near midfield. That's what he brings. He has great vision. That's one thing that Jim Kreiner said about him. Great vision, and he's a 215-pound back.
Watch the sharpness. He's going to bring it over here, and then he sees it's all bunched up, and watch him find the hole. Now, you know, they say the knock on him is he doesn't have great speed. But I'm telling you, Mark, you don't need to have great speed because the linemen don't have great speed, and that's who you have to get by. If you have the vision to find out where they're going to be and beat them, you're going to be a great asset to someone.
Oh, a guy without speed, he's put up some pretty good numbers. And play stopped again. There's the handoff to Caello, who makes the carry. Caello does not carry the ball that often, or certainly won't, with Suran Stacy in there.
Caello's a load, though. When you watch Suran Stacy run, you're going to see Caello out in front of him, knocking somebody in the mouth.
His father is from Hawaii, and we roll down to the end of the first quarter at Murrayfield. The sun is shining, but not on the Claymores. RHEIN Fire with a 13-0 lead.
The Claymores had the punt position away, but this field goal was all RHEIN Fire had to show at the end of their first drive in the second quarter. The Claymores have the ball, and it's a 1st and 10.
Ball at the 34-yard line. And they'll run it. Sir Stacy breaks free for an extra 2 or 3 across the 40-yard line. We talked about that struggling offense, Bill.
Well, you know, you're getting the same result today, too. I mean, I don't see where the big difference is between Spence. He really hasn't brought anything there. I mean, I think the question for him and the Miami Dolphins is suspense. Really, the question mark's out on him. He hasn't moved this team like they hoped he would by putting him as a starting quarterback.
Out of the I formation, it's Stacy. Block on the way, but good job of pursuit by Ryan Fire's defense, and Stacy brought down across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. Aubrey Beavers made the stop. Scott Cooper, Alan DeGraff, and Reed, the wide receivers, both to the bottom of your screen. And DeGraff and Reed in motion. Third down at about 3.5. Sweep Stacy. And I don't know. Looks like he's short. It's going to be close. Like the official, whether it's that left foot mark or the right foot mark. So 4th down and inches. Big play here. Well, the Claymores need to pick this up. And no surprise there. A good push and a first down. So the Claymores keep the chains moving. They trail 13-0. They need to make something happen on this drive.
Well, you know, when you got 3rd and a link, and you have Jeff Smith at 335, Purvis Hunt at 383, and Marco Rivera at 300, it makes sense. That's what you got those guys there for. That's what they lift all those weights and eat all that food for. Go right over the middle.
Yep, Jeff Smith out of Tennessee, played with Peyton Manning a couple of years. Didn't play well last week, said Jim Kreiner, so I'm sure he wants to make up for that. First down and yet another penalty. Way too many of these, I'm sure, for both head coaches. Eighth penalty. They'll run it, and not much. Sir Stacy hit the backfield. Off from Spence Fisher. Stacy looking for another chance, and we're talking to Mike Keller, the general manager for the Claymores, and he's hoping, he's made some calls on Sir Stacy's benefit to try to land him a job in the National Football League. He was with Kansas City, but that was a situation where you had Marcus Allen and Greg Hill and really no place for Sir Stacy to play. Second down and long, and Fisher with pressure, and he will be sacked. Back at the 36-yard line, Dunston Anderson has another one.
And that's his 5th sack of the season. I'll tell you, Dunston's really put together a fine year so far early on. He really has his game together. He looks the best I've seen him look. Now, Dunston was over here last year. You see him turn the corner and using his hands. I mean, as a defensive end, you have a bag of tricks. And in that tricks, you know, everything comes off that outside rush. If you can get that outside rush, turn the corner, you can do a lot of things.
I asked him what's his best technique. He said speed. He said if they figure that out, then I go to my next one. He said I don't worry about it. 3rd and long, pass to the sideline is incomplete near midfield, intended for Alan DeGraff and Reed. And the Claymores are going to have to give this one up. Five DBs in the game for Claymores, and T.J. Rubley, they finally get to him. Troy Bailey is the man who hauls him down. T.J. Rubley trying to scramble away, but not this time.
Well, that looked like a broken play right from the get-go. He tried to make the handoff. You see him try to make the handoff right in here, and he never gets the ball out there. And then he tried to take off on his own, but that's going to be recorded as a sack.
Yep, it really shouldn't be.
That's his first sack. That's the first sack they've had all year.
3 wide receivers for Ryan Fire. Second down at about 15. Blitz on, and the pass goes incomplete as Coghill was blitzing from the safety spot, and Rubley had to unload that one.
Took a shot when he unloaded it, too.
Well, I tell you what, Coghill can deliver a blow.
You know, I was really surprised Coghill didn't get picked up. He played this way last year, too. I mean, I saw him all season last World League season just knocking the dog out of people. I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, I would like to have this guy on my
the dog.
Yeah. I mean, the guys get up and they don't bark anymore.
See? Third down and still about 15. And they fire up the middle again. The other safety man, Doug Terry. 13-0 our score. Pair of touchdown passes, high kick, not real deep. Fair catch signaled and made at about the 40-41-yard line. So good field position with 2 minutes warning rolling up here. Boy, the Claymores, this would be big if they can get points on the board before halftime.
And I think at some point in time, you've got to get the ball to Yo Murphy and Alan DeGraffenreid to have a productive offense.
Well, they keep it on the ground. Suran Stacy breaking tackles across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Israel Stanley making the stop. That will take us down to the 2-minute warning. Out to the 46-yard line is where the ball is.
It's a 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning.
Here in Edinburgh, it is second down and about 5. 13-0 Rhein Fire leading. Claymore offense is not yet awakened. Pressure. Fisher fires, and the pass bounces off the receiver. We got a flag down. Alan DeGraffenreid didn't hang on, but a flag flies from the secondary. Chances are that'll be a first down coming up for the Claymores. Either interference or holding back there. Let's see. Bill Moss, you had an unusual penalty in your game last night in Amsterdam.
Illegal contact on the defense, number 30. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And that was similar. That was the call there we had last night as well.
Yeah.
And what that is that's contact when the ball's in the air. The receiver is still in his route, and the defensive back breaks that route. Now, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to get a jam up by the line of scrimmage 5 yards. But you can't make that illegal contact downfield.
So it is a first down. 3 wide receivers in for the Claymores. They trail 13-0. Spence Fisher with pressure again. Fires as he's going down. The pass goes incomplete. Second down and 10 as he just dumped that one off. Dunstan Anderson again putting the pressure on.
Well, that time he almost got him, and the time before that he almost got him. But Spence Fisher stepped up in the pocket 2 plays ago. This time he throws the ball with Dunstan hanging onto his leg.
Well, Jim Reiner mentioned they went back to basics and their fundamentals in the offensive line, and I don't know. I don't think they picked up all those fundamentals. Second down and 10. Spence Fisher back to throw underneath, and a pass caught across midfield to the 48. Yo Murphy with a rare reception. That may well be his first of the afternoon. The World Bowl MVP from last season. Tyrone Williams on the stop, and I tell you, the Claymores, you look at their record 2 years ago, they lost every home game. There's Murphy's numbers from last week. 2 years ago, they lose every home game. Last year, they win every home game, including the championship. This year, they've already lost once at home, and they trail here 13-0. Fisher goes for it all. A lot of air underneath that ball, bobbled, and both receiver and defender had their hands on it. Artis Houston almost had the interception. Pass intended for Alan DeGraffenreid. Good coverage, but too much air under that ball.
Well, you talk about the Scotland's record you're speaking of. And in 95, when they first got here, they lost all their home games. But in 96, when they won all their home games, that was the first year that Kreiner was actually the head coach going into the season. And Jim normally runs a tight ship, organized group. And believe me, he's not real happy with the start they're having right now. And that's why they had the training camp-like atmosphere this week in practice.
And the punt. Lamley to punt to Ricky Mose. Uh-oh. Is there going to be a flag coming out here? No. As he is hit immediately at the 11-yard line.
Charles Swan timed that.
Boy,
perfect.
you bet.
And when you see the receiver down there and he wants to catch the ball and he doesn't wave off for a fair catch, watch. No fair catch signal. Watch Swan just stutter step and wait. And he's closing on the tackle as the ball actually gets in his hands.
Property of the St. Louis Rams. Well, he had a chance to the senior team, Dick Vermeil. You know, Jim Kreiner had a chance to become an assistant coach with the St. Louis Rams and turned it down, said he didn't think much about it.
Well, a special teams play like that, he has a good chance. He carries that over into training camp. You can make anybody's roster.
Ricky Powers, a single setback here, and we have play stopped momentarily. 13-0. Rhein Fire leading here at Murrayfield. Claymores not wanting to lose 2 at home. Powers tries to get outside. Gang tackling at about 15-yard line, led by Jason Simmons. And we're going to get a timeout called here.
Second charge team timeout. 30-second timeout.
Clark now in the backfield gets the handoff off the right side, and he is tripped up. Nice play by George Coghill again. Across the 17-yard line, a quick timeout call.
Timeout, Scotland.
With 48 seconds to go before halftime here at Murrayfield in Edinburgh. Derrick Clark remains in the backfield on a 3rd down. And again, flags come. Let's see if T.J. Arubli drew him off or not. This one may go against Rhein Fire. Oh, we have had a bunch of penalties. Yep.
False start. Number 55 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Well, that's 55, Cronenberg, the center.
He's playing with ligament damage and a knee. I tell you this.
Yeah, he missed last week. There he is right there.
With the timer, please put 48 seconds on the clock. 48 seconds. Thank you.
This offensive line is like a mash unit. Keith Wagner has a knee. Olaf Hampel with a calf. Cronenberg with a knee. Bolo with a ribcage problem. Brooks is hurt. Oh.
A knee, a calf, a thigh. Sounds like we're ordering food.
3rd down at about 9. Rubley in trouble, steps away, look out, he's in the end zone. Rubley still with it. Scrambles and throws down the sideline, incomplete.
Boy, that's why he's
slippery.
That's why he's dangerous. And that's why they have no sacks. Now you're saying, oh, they did get sacked. No, they didn't. Official statistics ruled it as a replay. So the Rhein Fire still have no sacks. But watch. He is able to avoid pressure no matter where it's at. And he knows exactly what to do with the ball when it's time to do it. He held on to it for a long enough period of time to see if these receivers, if anybody found an opening and saw him scrambling. If they were there, he'd find them. If not, he throws the ball away.
Demetrius Martin back deep. Kyle Richardson, the punt. He's about a yard in the end zone on this punt coming up. No pressure, though. Hangs it up high. Nice kick. Martin drifting back to about the 36-yard line. Got a good block across the 40. And will be slowed up and brought down at about the 41-yard line.
Oh, you know who that nice block was by. That was Swan again. That was 26. You talked about, being from the Rams and can you make a team. And we saw him on 2 special team plays back-to-back make nice plays.
All right, now you trail 13-0, 28 seconds to go. You've got the ball in decent field position, but not much time. What do you do here?
Take a knee, get in the locker, sort it out.
In other words, don't risk a turnover.
They're going to take a shot here, one way or another. But they need to sort out their problems offensively.
Well, they've got 4 wideouts in the game, so they definitely are going to put the ball up from the 42-yard line. Spence Fisher with some pressure. Looking in that pocket, scrambles to the right, and he is brought down from behind.
That's Dunstan Anderson. That's his 5th sack. And that's why I say take a knee, because you risk getting hurt.
Well, they're racing up out of timeout. 2nd down and still about 10. This could be the final play. Spence Fisher, short drop, fires out. We got, I think we got another flag down. And what else is new? 3 seconds to go before halftime. Rhein Fire with the lead 13-0 on a pair of touchdown passes by T.J. Rubley. That man has not produced anything in his start. Spence Fisher. Can't blame him for everything, though. It's been I guess a total team effort in that area.
Well, they've been out of sync. The offense has never found their groove. They haven't been able to do what they want to do.
There's no foul in the play. No foul in the play.
Well, they picked up the flag. They got so used to dropping them, they just come out automatically.
Referee Bill Levy, he's been busy this first half, hasn't he?
Hadn't he, though? Rhein Fire 13-0 as halftime draws near. Winner of this game goes to 2-1 and a share of the lead. Barcelona losing last night to Frankfurt. pass. Again, the final play coming up. Pass complete across mid down to about the 47-yard line, and that'll do it.
Trailing 13-0 at halftime. It's been a disastrous, penalty-plagued first half for the Scottish Claymores. Well, the best of luck to you in the competition. It's halftime now. We'll be back after the break. But first, kick it, boys.
Joe Murphy and Eric Smith back deep. High, short kickoff. Murphy at about the 15. Tries to dance free. We got another flag down as he got across the 22-yard line. Looked like maybe offside on the kickoff.
Well, that is back in that vicinity.
Yeah.
I would imagine that would be the call.
See that call very often.
Offside on the kicking team, number 30. We will re-kick.
So they'll do it again.
Sounds like referee Joe Levy's getting hoarse. He's losing his voice. He's calling so mentally.
Probably saying, you know, I had dinner reservations. I may have to change them. So Adley Larson will kick it off once again. Rhein Fire coming off a win. They would like to get to 2-1. Of course, we mentioned again Barcelona losing to Frankfurt, and after 5 games, that will decide who will host in the World Bowl. And certainly the Claymores thought they had a great chance, but not if they let this one get away.
Well, they jumped out with the opening win against Amsterdam, and then since then it's been a struggle. Well, primarily on offense. They haven't been able to run. They haven't been able to pass. They're unsettled on a quarterback. And frankly, I think, you know, they're still unsettled on a quarterback. I think the move with Spence Fisher hasn't proven to me that he's the guy for the season yet.
Really hasn't gotten a lot of help. Larson's kickoff, a little deeper this time, back to about the 2-yard line. Joe Murphy again across the 15-20 and banged down hard at about the 21 or 22-yard line. Well, we talked about all the quarterback changes in the league, and there's a look at it.
Yeah, that's from week 1 to week 2. Saka sat down and McCoy took his place for Amsterdam. Chad May got pulled and Pallure came in. Stan White was down and Preston Jones came in last night as well. And now Dave Barr is down and Spence Fisher's the guy. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see Barr get back in the lineup.
Sir Stacy, the tailback, said he wanted to take some pressure off of Spence Fisher by running, but they haven't been able to do it. Fisher looking to the air, left now right, and completes it. It's the 25 to about the 27-yard line. Hitting hard. Scott Cooper. Britain. One of the national players on this team. Each team must have 7 of those. There's a look at Cooper.
He's a long way, too, as Seaver. Now, he's been here 3 years, and last year he was starting to get the hang of it. By the end of the season, you know, he was in the mix, receiving corps. Now he's considered their 3rd receiver.
Well, he has stepped it up. He's lined up to the top of your screen. I formation on a 2nd down and 5. Toss right, Sir Stacy looking for a little blocking. Not a lot of it there near the 30-yard line. We mentioned the national players and Scott Cooper. There are some rules. The 7 players per team. One must play every other series. And they have to be on special teams, at least one. And the change in kicker, that's an interesting rule, Bill.
Well, you know, the thing about it is if the ball is spotted on the 15-yard line and it's a 32-yard field goal, you have to have a national kicker kick it from the 15 on in. But after that, you can have another guy come in, whoever that may be, and kick a long-distance field goal.
The blue flag placard you caught an eye of means it's a national series, and it also means it's a first down. Stacy across the 35 to the 36-yard line, running up inside. He can do that. He can go inside, and he can go outside. And, boy, I tell you, you know, as good as he is, again, we mentioned about the speed or lack of, but he can do so many things with that great vision and cutback ability that hopefully he'll get a shot in the National Football League.
Well, look at the lead blocker, Coelho. He's up there on Aubrey Beavers, still pushing him. But that vision that you were talking about is what makes not only him good, but it sure makes your offensive lineman look great.
From the 36-yard line, first down. Spence Fisher back to throw, and the pocket stays in there nicely. Pass complete, midfield, and the big tight end rumbling down to about the 30-yard line. Boy, I tell you, I was impressed that time with Spence Fisher as he completes to Ricky Brady, the big tight end. He stayed in that pocket.
That's what they need to do. They need to get their tight end involved in this thing. That ball's going out here. That Ricky Brady comes outside. And who he beats is Chris Schelling, the strong safety. He drew man coverage with the strong safety, and Brady took him to the flat and then lost him in the flat when he turned upfield. And as he turned upfield, Spence Fisher found him.
Brady out of Oklahoma, so big day of the day for the Claymores. First down, in Rhein Fire territory, and it's Sirhan Stacy stays on his feet for an extra 3. Running hard to about the 22-21-yard line. Tyrone Williams brings him down. You can see the level picking up a little bit for the Claymores. As they have success, a little more confidence on the part of this offense.
Watch Ron Florine block Israel Stanley. That's going to set the whole thing up. He steps out and he takes the defensive end and he gets him turned inside. Now Stacy takes it from there and just finds his way upfield. Look at the balance he has as well, Mark. After he took a hit, he was able to keep his balance and get another yard or two.
And they keep running it. And another yard or two is what Sirhan Stacy will do, and he should have the first down inside the Rhein Fire 20-yard line. Let's see, we may have a measurement, and we will. Looked like he had picked it up. 60 yards for Sirhan Stacy. Said he wanted to carry the ball about 15 or 20 times. Said he's not back 100%, but they may need to have him carry it more than 15 or 20.
Well, I can tell you that most of those yards he's gotten on his own.
Mazio Royster will give him a break. That's exactly what Stacy needs right now. He said he's probably about 5 pounds heavier than he wants to be, and, well, they are short. They marked that thing back a little bit. I thought he had it.
Was it the right foot?
I think that was the left hand versus the right hand on the part of Sirhan Stacy. Jim Craner talking it over.
O-line didn't improve now, right?
No.
Don't want to go zone?
Zone's all right. They bring in linebackers now, so tell your line to be ready. They brought linebackers last time. Here we go. Go, they're calling you. Rip.
Craner, Jim Soker, the offensive coordinator for the Claymores, and Spence Fisher racing back to the huddle.
That zone he was talking about is zone blocking up front. Each guy has a zone, has an area, and then you heard him talk about watch the blitz. They're bringing linebackers now.
Third down in inches, and the big fullback takes it inside and picks up the first down and then some down to about the 15-yard line. Halo picks it up. Aubrey Beavers on the stop, but this has been an impressive drive. First one of the day, really, for the Claymores. They trail 13-0. We're in the third.
Well, they've complemented it by the pass. So look at the push on the left side of the line. These guys right there. That's a big push.
Well, maybe those fundamentals are kicking in, or maybe they were kicked at halftime and now they're kicking in. Sirhan Stacy back in the game. A first down. Back shift now for Spence Fisher. Short drop, looking right, and fires. And the pass complete to about the 10-yard line, and stopped there is Scott Cooper. National player for the Claymores. He's been active. A couple of catches on this drive. In fact, let's look at the national players for the Scottish Claymores.
The most active is Scotty Cooper.
You bet.
The tight end, Avi's pretty good receiver in his own right, and then the two kicker. Branscombe is a little bit too inexperienced to get much playing time, but Scotty Cooper, he's a gutsy guy. He's about 175 pounds. He really stands out when you're down the field how skinny he is compared to the other players.
Toss left on a 2nd and 4. And good play that time, getting up to stuff it. Corner man Lee Cole did a nice job of staying home. Saw the play coming his way by Sirhan Stacy. That's up a third down situation. There's Lee Cole, property of the Houston Oilers. Dave Barr had a good quote today in the Telegraph about how close it is between the World League and the National Football League. Matter of inches and pounds. In motion right, Maceo Royster. He's a good receiver out of the backfield, and he gets belted at a 10. That's going to be short of the first down. They need to get to about the 6-yard line. Artis Houston put the pop on him.
And now they're in the red zone area, and they've been down there, and since they've gotten in there, the Rhein Fire's defense has really gotten tough.
All right, you trail 13-0. It's fourth down, about a yard and a half to go. Do you need points? Nope, you need a touchdown. So it is fourth down. Big play here. This has been a very impressive series. They don't want it to end. Cooper, the motion man. Toss right. Stacy, fullback leads. Hurdles. And the flag flies. Siran Stacy down at about the 1, but that yellow flag came out. John Anderson, the strong safety, made the stop, and this one looks like it's coming back.
It's going to be a holding.
Oh, my. I believe that is our first holding penalty of the afternoon.
But again, it's on the offensive line, and most of the penalties have been right there.
Mr. Levy will give us the indication.
Holding on the offense, number 81. 10-yard penalty, repeat fourth down.
They call it on the wide receiver, Scott Cooper.
Number 72 is reported.
So a full try as a result of the penalty. Will be about a 32-yard effort. 32-yard effort coming up.
They've struggled with their kicking game.
Yep. On the way, the left footer bangs it up and through. Roos knocks it through. Kickoff. The left footer, a low line drive kick, and Clark on the far side at about the 18-yard line across the 20-30. I tell you one thing I've been impressed with here at Edinburgh. They love their team and they love to have fun. They call it a power party. And the fans support their Claymores. Can you do one of those tomorrow?
I'm full of hot air, but
I couldn't do that. The hula hoop, I'd be in traction. The kilts. Now I understand, Mr. Moss, that you actually had a chance to wear a kilt. I think you would look good in one, frankly.
They couldn't find enough cloth to fit around my midsection.
I understand they're pretty expensive. T.J. Rubley with a defender in his face, fires to the far sideline to about the 37-yard line. Andy Fields on the stop. T.J. Rubley to Sean Foster, and Rubley with a couple of TD tosses on the afternoon as his team up 13-3 in the third.
I like Rubley, and I like the way he runs his offense. I mean, he's a gutsy guy, and he wants to go after it. He wears that little Band-Aid, that breathe right thing across his nose. You don't see many quarterbacks have that Band-Aid across their nose.
This is the National Series, and breaking through, Carter, 40, he may go. High stepping, 25, 20, and down the left sideline he goes. Juan Carter broke free. Kevin Scott chases him down on the angle, and a terrific run. That shows you that speed that he has to get outside, the graduate of Arizona.
Watch the safeties come up here and blitz. Now what happens is they get caught. This is a draw. They set this thing up and it hits right up the gut. And there's nobody in the middle of the field to stop him.
Kevin Scott saves a touchdown, had him on the angle. They're going to mark it at about the 13-yard line. Rhein Fire on the move again. Play fake. Rubley with pressure, fires and completes it. Inside 5, tight end breaks free, touchdown. Off of Dealey, the tight end, his first catch of the day, and it's a touchdown. As he hurdles the signboard in the back of the end zone. And just like that, Rhein Fire scores again. Third touchdown pass of the afternoon for T.J. Rubley.
Now, you see what I mean by explosive? I mean, we talked about earlier in the show that their specialists can be explosive. They've gotten everybody the ball. Jet line, they've gotten it to Schrader. Antoine Carter's had big runs. Derrick Clark, and now they get the tight ends in the mix.
Well, that quieted the crowd down, and they can make noise here. Bergsmuller for the extra point now to try to make it 20-3, and he bangs it, but we got a flag down.
It did get quiet in here.
Man, it did.
I mean, it was like they pulled the plug on the power party.
Well, they get fired up again. We got the big cheering section, the guys in the kilts down in front of us. What is it they call those guys? The Fun Bunch.
Fun Bunch.
The Fun Bunch, yeah. They're not having a whole lot of fun right now as they discuss the options on the penalty. On the extra point after a third touchdown pass by T.J. Rubley, property of the Denver Broncos.
On the defense, the nose guard in the neutral zone. The penalty will assess on the kickoff. The extra point is good.
Scotland failed to take advantage of their possession. We rejoined the action with RHEIN in possession.
But T.J. Rubley's had a number today. 3 touchdown passes. This time they run hard up inside, up near the 28-yard line. Derrick Clark on carry for Rheinfire. They've been very impressive.
Boy, that was a nice trap play. Watch the trap. Watch Shelton right here pull on this thing, kick this out.
137 George Street.
You see him hit Brazil? And then Derrick Clark, 43, did a nice job of finding where the hole was.
Picked up about 7. They run it left side. Sweep to the corner, and he gets it. Clark first down and then some. As the sunshine comes back out, shining on Rheinfire here this afternoon. Another first down. Carry these 2 safeties. Clark still down. The 235-pound fullback, and he is not getting up. They have landed on the shoulder. Let's take a look and see if we can see if he landed shoulder. And I don't know. Couldn't tell.
Possibly a knee. Looked like he came down with a couple guys on his back.
26 years old out of Evangel.
Back. I mean, he has a game. He has power to him. He has explosiveness. You can run him inside. You can run him outside. And he's the guy that he shows up on game day. Doesn't matter what the score is. You know what you're going to get out of Derrick Clark.
They just had the wind knocked out of him. Last season, pretty good numbers, 4th in the World League. Just under 400 yards. Rheinfire with a first down at the 39-yard line. Their own. They lead it 20-3. They run it again. Ricky Powers, big hole off the right side midfield. Powers still running. 40, 30, and stays on his feet for an extra 4. Inside the 25-yard line. Had a terrific run by Ricky Powers. The ex-Wolverine broke a couple of big-time tackles, and a huge play for Rheinfire.
Boy, watch this push right up here. Wagner, and then we have Ethan Brooks in there blowing the holes wide open, and Powers takes it right field. You know, that's about the 3rd or 4th big run against this team, the defensive team for the Scottish Claymores, and that'll kill you. I mean, there's no excuse for giving up that many big runs in a game.
Over 2,500 yards in Michigan. He was beaten out. He lost his starting job. Tyrone Wheatley took it away from him. Not bad, a #1 draft pick. As T.J. Rubley throws this one away, felt some pressure again from the inside. He really has it. Early in the game, Bill, he had to scramble a little bit, but I think the offensive line is as banged up as they are, really done a pretty good job. What is second down? There's Powers' number. Is the second time he's kind of shaken up a little bit. Ricky Powers. Good numbers.
Hey, he's tired. He had to run all that distance.
Yeah, he'll be okay. Second down 10. Ball at the Claymores 24 line. Here. And things are going to be tough for the home team. A pass again by Rubley. Again pressure. They had to throw that one away. We got a flag down. Well, the pressure beginning to come as Claymore is trying to get after T.J. Rubley. He hasn't been sacked yet.
And that's going to go against the Rheinfire.
A lot of flags down and too many men. Legal receiver. Let's see what we do.
Ineligible downfield on the offense, number 55. Penalty is declined. Third down.
I didn't know the centers could get downfield that quickly. Cronenberg to center, the guilty party on the ground. Wow. Rhein Fire with 168 yards rushing. Scotland with 93. Well, now it is a third down situation for Rhein Fire. Out of the shotgun, they'll run it. Juan Carter to the 20, 15, 10, and still running inside of the 80-yard line. Antoine Carter, who broke a big one for Rhein Fire in their last touchdown drive, comes up with a big third and long conversion here, and it's first down, goal to go.
Now out of the shotgun, watch the offensive lineman stand up, get past, and then get their man and turn them on the draw. Keith Poe gets trapped.
He sure did, didn't he?
I mean, each and every running back for the Rhein Fire has gotten an opportunity to shine.
Derrick Clark now the tailback, and the big guy gets the call for maybe a yard. They run right up the back of the center, Cronenberg. Brad Keeney, the left defensive tackle, in on the stop. You gotta, if you're a Claymore fan, you gotta be saying, if they score a touchdown here, we are in deep trouble.
Defensively, they are in deep trouble. This whole game, they have never been able to get in sync with what the Rhein Fire is doing.
Jim Kreiner very concerned as the third quarter will come to a close at Murrayfield. Will they lose their second at home this year?
Third quarter.
Rhein Fire in control. Rubley with 3 touchdown passes. Our champion Bill Moss, the Fun Bunch, trying to crank it up here. Bill Moss, Fun Bunch wanted to recruit you, put you in a kick. I still think you should have done it.
Well, I found out what they wear underneath it. That's why I said, no, it's not for me.
And the pass, Rubley swings it out to Clark. Good stutter step move to get free down close to the goal line. They'll be at about the 2-yard line. Rhein Fire leading. Boy, for a banged-up offensive line that Galen Hall was extremely concerned about, they have done a terrific job protecting that guy. Galen Hall has to be very, very pleased.
Well, you know, hey, he owns Scotland. He's owned Jim Kreiner. He's been there.
3-1 record, and they're going to call a timeout. They want to talk this one over on third down. So Galen will make sure, because a touchdown here, he feels may ice it.
You got your heavy people.
Take a look at the stats through 3. Wow, look at those rushing yards. 184 for Rhein.
The thing about it is, look here. Time of possession, Scotland owns. Now figure that out. They own the time of possession, but look at the passing yards and the rushing yards. They're not getting much. And the whole thing boils down to is Scotland is unable to put the ball in the end zone. They have 23 points coming into this game. Add on that to 3 points, 26 points in 3 games. That's not near good enough to win at any level.
Well, they just haven't been in the red zone one time today, and that was on the drive that they had to end up taking 3 instead of 6 on a holding call. They've just not been able to get the offense cranked up.
Well, their defense hasn't helped them out either.
Nope.
14-16.
Yep, the defense has been on the field. So a big here, huge for the Claymores.
Thank you.
Rubley with 3 touchdown passes on the afternoon. Schrader, who has 1 of them. Rhodes, who caught one last week. And Foster as his 3 wide receivers. Derrick Clark is the tailback. Third the couple. T.J. Rubley flushed, rolls deep to the right, and fires to the corner of the end zone. They say no. Oh, man. David Rhodes caught it, rather, but didn't get the beat in.
Rubley is the added element. Beat right away. He recognized it, but he buys his receivers time. Here's Rhodes clearing to the back of the end zone, and Rubley tries to get it to him, but he only gets 1 foot in bounds, the back foot.
Yep, just the back foot. So Manfred Birchmuller, 47 years old. He was a star forward for Germany, playing soccer. Now he is kicking the football. He said about American football, he said it's just big guys in helmets. Well, Dave Barr loosening up. He was the starter. Became the backup, but he may well be counted on put a spark into the Claymores, and this is the critical drive, Bill Moss.
They need to get a score on this drive here. You're exactly right, Mark.
And the kickoff set at the 10. Across the 20. Dancing his way, and down he goes at about the 25-yard line.
Well, Fisher's still the guy. Fisher's taking the field.
Eric Smith may be hurt. Well, no, it's not Smith. It's Joe Murphy behind him. Murphy's had a very quiet day, as Bill's pointed out. All the Claymores receivers have, for the most part. You're right. Fisher's still in at quarterback.
Quiet season, actually. All three of the receivers have not caught a touchdown so far this year.
Well, Dave Barr, his quarterback rating is high, but as you saw there, no teams, no interceptions. 25-yard line, Spence Fisher with protection, fires to the near sideline, and the pass complete to the Graffenried at about the 40. All those sideline patterns, number one, they're tough to defend. Number two, they stop the clock.
Well, everybody's playing deep. You know, they have everybody back here in a 4 across, and Swift just loses his footing as the Graffenried ran a dig at him and turned around and came back. He just lost his footing.
Claymores need a touchdown quick. Smith and Murphy to the top of your screen. To Graffenried below. Back goes Spence Fisher and fires a slant fumble. Smith dropped it at midfield, and I think Rheinfire has made the recovery.
Rhein's ball, first down.
Yep. Well, there's a huge mistake there. Eric Smith just simply dropped that football, and Rheinfire comes up with it.
Nothing seems to be going right.
Cole, I believe, made the recovery. Lee Cole. Let's take a look.
Well, there's a completion. Eric Smith had the catch, turned upfield, and then he got hit. And he got hit by Matt Gay to safety. And as he got hit, the ball came out.
And Lee Cole made the recovery. So the ball in Claymore territory. And the hand goes inside as they try to burn some clock. Antoine Carter on the carry.
Well, you got to come back hard on it. You got to. Understand? There's no I want it. Got to. You know you're going to see it.
I think you can see a little bit of the frustration coming out in Jim Kreiner. And actually, if I was in those shoes, I'd be a lot worse than that. Because what he's witnessed today on both sides of the ball hasn't been pretty.
Inside 13 minutes, 23-3, Rheinfire on their way to a 2-1 record. Claymores on their way to their second home loss. They hit the road for 2. Antoine Carter up inside again. Picks up about 3 more. Setting up 3rd down and still about 3.
You know, one of the reasons I think that the Rheinfire is really getting their game to go is because of this guy right here, Cronenberg. He's in a lineup now. He was hurt in week 1 with a knee injury, and he's back in the mix of the thing. Look at the job he does on Wilkie Bazille. I mean, he takes him, picks him up. When you got your hands inside, you see how he got his hands inside and then pushed them up in the air? When you stand a defensive lineman straight up, you've got to block.
His ancestors, he said, are from Germany. He loves Dusseldorf. Antoine Carter couldn't break the second tackle. Good play made. Lost back at about the 46-yard line. Emmett Waldron made the good play, the national player, and so Rheinfire will have to give it up. They that was almost like they wanted to burn clock.
Emmett Waldron's a pretty good linebacker.
Yeah, he is.
And it's a tricky little deal there because he's considered a national, but he played college football at Rice.
Smith and Martin are back deep. Rheinfire, obviously, they want to bury this one. And a high kick turns over, and this one, well, it never had a chance. Not a great punt by Kyle Richardson. He's kind of banged that one into the end zone. Thank you, Eric Clemens, as the Claymores cheerleaders trying to fire him up, and boy, they need the help right now. Spence Fisher stays in, gets protection and fires, and the pass is complete across the 30-yard line. Joe Murphy on the end of that one.
Spence showing a little zing on the ball last couple of series.
Well, maybe with Mr. Barr warming up, he kind of got the idea. About 11 minutes to go in this one. Claymores trail by 20. They have 2 road games coming up. Frankfurt next week and then London. So this one was vital, according to Jim Kreider. Back to throw. Fisher underneath to the tight end. And out across the 40-yard line goes Ricky Brady out of Oklahoma. Well, they produced some pretty good tight ends over the years, haven't they?
Chief Jackson. You know, getting Brady involved in the offense can really help out both the run game and the pass game for the Claymores. He can be the link. He can be the person that ties them all together.
Brady, a 6th-round pick this year, has had NFL experience with the Rams, Eagles, and Cowboys. 2nd down and about a yard to go. Fisher, property Miami Dolphins, back to throw, swings it out to Keolo, the fullback. And we got a flag and a personal foul coming up, roughing the passer call coming up against Ryan Fire.
On James Wilson. That was totally unnecessary. He had pressure, he had good pressure, he got the pass off, and afterwards he just gave him a shot.
We have had a plethora of penalties.
Roughing the passer on the defense, number 74, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
I'm going to give Phil Levy some cough drops after the game because he's earned them. Well, Levy's a defensive tackle right here. He's in a stunt. And he comes to Scott free. Now, he gets the ball off, and then as he gets the ball off, he gives him that shot with the crown of his helmet. I mean, just threw it right in there.
That's a terrible penalty. Galen Hall will not be happy. You're up 20 points. You don't need to give the team 15 yards. That moves it to Ryan Fire territory at the 45-yard line. 4th quarter action here at Murrayfield. Spence Fisher to throw, long over the middle to Graffenried, up for it, and makes the catch. And he is hammered immediately by the free safety, Matt Gabe, and he hangs on. Big pass and catch there for the Claymore.
Heck of a grab.
Yeah.
Alan Graffenried is an athlete. He's a big guy, he's a big receiver, and I didn't understand why he hadn't gotten him in the game. But see the way he was up in the air about 4 feet.
Played last year in the CFL, did the Graffenried. So that moves it close to that red zone. Fisher, short drop, 3 steps and fires. Out to the left side to Smith. Very quick receiver, breaks the tackle, ball loose. Is it a fumble or was he down? And they're going to rule him down. They're going to rule him down. Well, that's a huge break there. Smith lost one earlier, and they almost lost this one.
That was almost his second one. Watch the distance they give Eric Smith. And the reason he gives him so much space is because he's respecting his speed. Eric Smith is a fast receiver.
You know, we talked to him prior to the game, and he said, I want the ball. He said, he says, hopefully this quarterback, meaning Fisher, will get him the ball. Out of the eye, toss right. Inside the 10, hurdling Sirhan Stacy, stays on his feet, sticks the ball into the end zone.
What a run.
Oh, my. Sirhan Stacy with his first touchdown of the afternoon, and for the Claymores in general. They needed that one, a huge run.
Number 72 is reporting as eligible, 72.
Extra point coming up. Harry Parker to attempt it. Sirhan Stacy with the touchdown. And he splits the upright. Crowd on their feet. Sirhan Stacy gives them something to cheer about.
Watch Sirhan Stacy, number 27 here on the lead. fullback is going to lead this thing out for him. He makes the block on John Anderson, number 19. Blows him up. And then watch Stacy. This is all vision, desire, arms, legs, and he drags Fielding. And he has the awareness of where to put the ball. Look at his arms. He's just breaking tackles and drags Fielding as far as he possibly can and extends the ball across the plane in the end zone. Unbelievable run by Stacy.
That's his 15th career touchdown, one shy of the World League record. Here's the kickoff short to Ricky Mose at about the 12. That's the 20, and he's wrapped up at about the 26-yard line. Well, now the defense has got to come through. 6 plays, 80 yards. Duran Stacy with his touchdown, 11 yards. Giving the Claymores something to cheer about with 8:30 to go.
Plenty of time, that's right. 8:30 left to go, down by 10. Real important now for the defense to do something they haven't done all day, and that's get the ball back right now.
Stacy getting the congratulations. T.J. Rubley has been sharp here today. 3 touchdown passes. Ryan Fire trying to go to 2-1. Running away from home. And the running play continues to work. Inside running now across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Carried by Ricky Powers. All the backs have done well today for Galen Hall. Head coach Ryan Fire. Has the most wins. Trying to get another one. Second down at about 5. Clock the enemy now for the Claymores. They trail. Again, they keep it on the ground. Ricky Powers hit as he gets it. Setting up a third down. He picked up maybe a yard. Third down, still about 4. Eric Unverzat made the tackle. Unverzat out of Wisconsin. A couple of Big Ten players colliding.
That's big, Wilkie. Watch the play he makes. He's going to just jack the guard up and slide down the line of scrimmage, and then he wraps up. Right? It takes more than one person to bring down Powers.
Wilkie can do it. I like that shit. Third down now. Big play. Perhaps the play of the game for the Claymore defense. A bootleg to the right. And the pass drop. Is it complete or incomplete? Let's see. They ruled it incomplete pass. Schrader, the intended receiver, just took his eyes off of it. Rubley had him open.
Well, it's a nice play-action pass. Bootleg out the back door and across the field. Here comes Schrader. It's a well-thrown ball. He just never gets the grip on it.
Yeah, he looked up at Doug Terry. He was waiting for Terry to pop in.
And that's a big win at this point in the game for the defense of the Claymores.
Martin and Smith are back deep for the Claymores. The punt coming up. 23-10 our score. And the kick coming to Demetrius Martin at the 29-yard line, looking for a little running room. Finds a little crease, but he is brought down at about the 34. Demetrius says, oh, so good. Juan Carter on the stop. Well, what will this guy pull out of the hat to get the Claymores in the end zone with 6:42 to go?
Well, you know, I've noticed that every time they've been able to run the ball, it's because they open it up with pass. Now, that's usually not the way Jim Kreiner likes to do things. He likes to run the ball first, then pass. But their passing game, once they get that going, it's opening other things up.
Smith, Murphy, DeGraff, and Reed all in there. Spence Fisher, flush, steps up into the pocket, and tucks that ball away at the last second. That maybe was out there to be had, but he was able to put it away. And he was brought down. Dunstan Anderson in on the stop. Buster Stanley helping out. Boy, look, a little tomahawk chop trying to get that football loose.
Sylvester Stanley swiping at the ball. He just tucked it away.
Yep. Out of Michigan. Stepping up again, Fisher fires and complete. Smith gets away at midfield. Down the left sideline he goes to the 42-yard line of Rhein Fire. Eric Smith with great speed. Matt Gay and Chris Schelling on the stop. Jim Kreiner wondering, can we do it? 5:50 to go.
That was Lee over there in the corner who got burned. And what happened is he just broke up to try to make a tackle, and he lost Eric Smith.
He can run a 4.240. Artie Schottenheimer says the fastest he's ever timed. And Spence Fisher, a sliding throw incomplete. Again, intended for Eric Smith. Second down and 10.
Well, you talk about that 4.240 and the fastest 40 Marty's ever seen. I think it's the fastest 40 Lee Cole's ever seen, because look how far he is playing off the ball.
That's a cushion.
And he's just giving him that cushion, and they're going to take it. And why not? It's there, take it.
23-10 our score, fourth quarter at Murrayfield in Edinburgh. Spence Fisher for the home team. Back, steps up in the pocket, and he's going to go down. Just about the line of scrimmage.
Vladi Iliak.
Oh, a third coming up. One without the huddle. Clock rolling down. It's their biggest enemy. Out of the scoreboard, of course. Short drop. Fisher fires over the middle. Incomplete. Try to get it to Alan DeGraffenreid at about the 30-yard line. In between a couple of Rhein Fire defenders.
And you go for it. You're in 4 down time territory now.
Fourth down and 10 coming up, and Spence Fisher wants to talk it over with Jim Kreiner and Jim Stoker, the offensive coordinator. Let's find out what they're going to do.
Jimmy, you know, I'd like to go ahead and go for it here. We got to score twice, and you know, play some defense. You know, because if we just catch the football, we should have had our first down already. All right, that's what we're going to do.
Well, I think it sounds like they're playing with some new kind of football, but they want to get the first down here. That's important. And you heard him talk about the details of we need 2 scores and we need some defense. And if they do all that, this has got to be a big play to get the first down.
Well, you know, I think that Jim has got to be not extremely happy with his offense, but I think, you know, you've hit it a couple of times. I think he's more dissatisfied with his defense here this afternoon.
They put them in the hole.
Yep.
The big runs against them and the big pass plays given up. I mean, it's like they practiced so hard this week that they really lost sight of what Ryan can do.
Smith and DeGraffenreid at the top of your screen. Lined up right is Joe Murphy. DeGraffenreid in motion on fourth down. Huge play here for Fisher. Long over the middle, almost picked off. DeGraffenreid, the intended receiver. And Rhein Fire will get it back. Chris Schelling, the strong safety.
Yeah, he tried to force that ball. That was a bad decision. But on the other end of it, it was great coverage all the way around the field. DeGraffenreid is going to come right down here and slide in there right behind the linebackers, but he's covered. See the coverage all the way. That was some nice coverage. They had it all the way around the field. That was Schelling there.
So Rhein Fire takes it over at their 42-yard line, leading 23-10. 4:46 to go in the football game. Barry Clark now, the single setback for T.J. Rubley. Clark breaks 1 tackle and is hauled down at the 44-yard line. Time a factor, and boy, I tell you, Claymores had their chance thanks to that Frankfurt victory over Barcelona, 17-10. It set it up for them here to win at home. Amsterdam with the victory over London, 34-6. Got their first victory. So we're going to have 3 at 2-1, and Rhein Fire will be one of those 3 unless something happens here in about 4 minutes and 12 seconds. 13-point lead. Second down, about 8. Keep it on the ground. Clark, down he goes. Had to run right, and not much there.
Well, it's no secret to what they're going to do right now. That's Rhein Fire's going to run the ball, try to chew up the clock. But in this game and the last half of last week's game, the Rhein Fire
Timeout, Scotland.
has really done a good job.
30-second timeout.
The timeout call on the field of getting the young receiving corps accustomed to what they want to do offensively. And by that, I'm talking about Schrader and Stritline. Sean Foster has really stepped up and been a big factor. I mean, they've even got Babak Namasaki in there, the national player from Iran, and a lot of that reason is because of Wes Chandler. There's Wes right there. I mean, 7-time Pro Bowler for the San Diego Chargers. And when you have young receivers, I mean, heck, Dritline told me that at college, he went to college in Kansas at Washburn, near Topeka, Kansas. He didn't have a wide receiver coach. He had like one of his buddies coaching that was a player last year at GA. He never had a coach. So you get the opportunity to come here and work with Wes Chandler, one of the all-time NFL greats. That's a great experience.
Also a Florida Gator, as was Galen Hall. Antoine Carter running inside, just bobbing and weaving, shaking and baking. Moving that clock with 3:43 and ticking here at Murray Field. So it'll be a 4th down, and Demetrius Martin will drop back for the Claymores as you get a look at Antoine Carter. Had a real nice run that set up a Rhein Fire touchdown. All 3 backs today for Rhein Fire have produced. That's why they've rolled up such big rushing yardage. How do you put on the block here? Claymores will look like they've got it set up. Kind of a wobbly snap, but no pressure. Ball doesn't turn over. Demetrius Martin underneath it. About the 13. Got a block free to the 20. And will be driven out of bounds. Shy of the 25-yard line. They'll mark it at the 24. Well, the standings after today will be, it would appear anyway, that Rhein Fire would go to 2-1. Who would have thought that both of those Claymore losses, if indeed they lose this game, would be home?
That is a shock, and it's a big shock at the way the Claymores have been playing. Offensively, their point production's been terrible, and they're right at their average. Well, actually right below their average for the first 2 weeks. They average about 11.5 points per game, and they're at 10 right now. And that's not good enough to win a ball game at any kind of level.
4 wide receivers. Stacy, the tailback. Fisher out to his left, and the pass is complete at about the 28-yard line. Those are not going to move you down the field that quickly. Eric Smith on the end of that one. Obviously, without the huddle, down to 2:48 and ticking. 23-10 Rhein Fire. Short drop, pass out right side. Reed, and he breaks free. He looks taller than 6'2". He is a big target. And unfortunately, on their last series on a 4th down pass, they tried to force one in and had to give the football up. So a 1st down here. Stops the clock with 2:41 to go. Claymores trying to avoid a 1-2 start. 4 wide receivers stay in there for Jim Kreiner. Spence Fisher, back pressure from the left side, gets the pass away, up for it to Reed. Oh my, there's what 6'2" can do for you. As he reaches up in between the 2 defenders and comes down with a football. That kind of reminded me a little bit of Herman Moore with the Detroit Lions at 6'4", who was able to go up with great hands. He caught that with his hands, beautiful.
Well, that's 6'2" going against 5'10" and Michael Swift.
And lose the change to the 46-yard line of Rhein Fire. Spence Fisher, back pressure, left side, gets away, throws as he is being dropped, and the pressure again from Dunston Anderson.
And Israel Stanley on the other side as well.
Yep. Well, Dunston said, we're going to shock the league. By golly, he may be right.
Well, they've definitely turned some heads and opened some eyes, I think, around the league. They started off looking ugly in their first game, and then they came alive last week in the second half, and they're growing off it. And I really still don't think they've hit their peak.
A couple of Tulsa guys leading the way. Anderson on the defensive side, T.J. Rubley on the offensive side. Pass by Spence Fisher on a slant to Smith. It's caught and close to the 1st down. Well, we're going to get the old right foot and left foot. See where they're going to mark it.
I'll tell you, I think one thing they're finding out here about Spence Fisher is he can throw the ball. And maybe it's something they're going to incorporate in their game plan next week.
And that will be on the road next week as they play at Frankfurt. Spence Fisher's numbers today.
There's the key. That's the key right there. Good numbers. Over 200 yards. Anytime a quarterback has over 200 yards, he's happy.
stretch out the chains and come up short. 2:16 to go in the football game. Rhein Fire leading 23-10. T.J. Rubley with 3 touchdown passes on the afternoon. That's 6 for him in the last 2 weeks. That's pretty good production. Rhein Fire's upcoming game. That's a huge one at Amsterdam.
Amsterdam feels confident after their victory last night.
Yep. And they let it quarterback sneak for the first down.
And after Amsterdam, they've got 2 against their big rival, Frankfurt.
That's a 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning.
That'll get us down to the 2-minute warning here in Edinburgh. to 10, Rhein Fire with the lead. 2 minutes to go, and the Claymores picked up the first down. They have it at the well, things are not happy on that side of the bench. T.J. Rubley now, they'll just run out the clock and try to hang on to the football as Ricky Powers tries to power inside, picked up a yard to the 40-yard line. They can't stop the clock. 1:42 and ticking.
Mark, I'll tell you, for the Rhein Fire and Galen Hall, they've really done a good job in the first 3 weeks of just progressively getting better. They've struggled. They had some weak areas of the offensive line. They had some problems in their secondary. But they're just keep on plugging along, and each week they're taking strides to getting better. Now, on the other side of the coin, though, for the Claymores, this up and down style of play is really frustrating for a coach.
Ricky Powers driving straight ahead across the 45-yard line. And, well, you know, you can key in on a lot of different people, Bill, but I think that T.J. Rubley has brought the kind of leadership and confidence that Rhein Fire was looking for. I tell you, Galen Hall's got to be happy with Rubley, who was successful with the Los Angeles Rams, had a pretty decent 1993 season, and now a property of Denver. I'm sure he would, who knows, he may get his chance.
Key word, Mark. I mean, he is very confident. He loves being around the guys, and he loves being in charge.
Juan Carter in and will not pick up the first down, but we're down a half minute anyway, so it's all academic, as those faces will tell you.
And, you know, it's double the agony and double the frustration because they prepared very hard this week. I mean, Kreiner was tough on them. They worked hard, and then they come out here and they have all kinds of mistakes and mental errors. That's just going to kill you.
I think the penalties certainly in the first half, as no other play need be run here at Murrayfield, where the defending World Bowl champions have dropped their second at home, dropping to 1-2 on the year. Rhein Fire to 2-1 with a 23-10 victory over the Claymores. Jim Kreiner not happy, but that guy is Galen Hall.
Galen Hall moving his record up to 4-1 against Jim Kreiner and the Claymores. Doing a fine job, and the way Galen does it is what he did today. He came out and he kept them off balance from the get-go. The passes to the flat, upfield, the draw plays, the trap plays. It was an excellent offensive attack.
Let's take a look now at the standings. Up to date, Rhein Fire joining Frankfurt and Barcelona at 2-1, and who would have thought Claymores dropped to 1-2 as they lose it here today, 23-10. Well, one guy who has to be very happy with his quarterback is the head coach of Rhein Fire, Galen Hall. Congratulations, Galen. And boy, T.J. Rubley, 6 touchdown passes in the last 2 weeks.
TJ played very good. He executed game plan. The coaches did a good job, and we hung on. We won, though. Defense came through at the end.
99 yards on 13 carries, and one more. You would have been the first Rhein Fire player to gain 100 yards rushing. Maybe they can look back in the stats, Twan, to find another yard.
No, they got to. Hopefully I can get it. But, hey, there's more games, and I just thank God for getting me through this game. And I'm just glad our offense came together, man, and we didn't listen to anything about the negative things that a lot of people had to say about us, about the past Rhein Fire team. And I'm just excited to win. basically.
Antoine, you guys did come together, and it started last week in the second half, and it continued this week. What are some of the keys to everything that's growing for you guys offensively?
Well, right now, offensively, you know, we're just happy to just get together and just feed off of each other. You know, right now the offense is starting to be balanced. Our passing game is going to pick up, and right now, as long as people can't dictate what kind of offense we have, they can't say, well, they're a passing team, we're a running team. We just want to keep them off edge. If we can do that, we'll be successful. Right now, I just don't want to be considered as they're a running team or they're a passing team. As long as we can keep them on their toes, we'll be all right.
The Scottish Claymores end up losers in what was a rough weekend for British football. Mike, so what do you make of this game?
Well, there are promising signs for Scotland, especially getting Saran Stacey back, and Spence Fisher was looking pretty good at quarterback in that second half. But basically, they fell prey to a RHEIN team that ran a good offense, mixing up the run and the pass and always keeping Scotland on the wrong foot.